Hey guys, my name is OmegaSniper for EVA, and welcome to my channel. This will be my first video, and hopefully I don't disappoint. I'm playing on the Vanilla Tyme server. It's kind of like whitelisted server. It's pretty interesting. I found little lag after I installed Optifine, of course. What else? We are in the spawn shopping slash village area right now. A lot of things. This is just starting off as a server. There's a decent bit of people online right now. We've had a good start. We hit the ground running. We sat the skeleton grinder for a while and grinded out a decent, well, I guess a max enchant bow. After that, we got the red leather armor. That's right there. I decided to start on this season. I want to wear leather as much as possible. Excluding like fighting a dragon. I mean, I'll try, but I'll probably die, no question about it. I did go to the end for a little bit and raid a end fortress to get some shulker boxes, and I got a couple. I mean, some of these I actually bought because I went mining for a decent bit of time. But before I had the elytra, I had to go, and I only wore my full enchanted leather armor that I've labeled with the Omega symbol, and it was a hell of a time. We got 7 shells the first time, and almost died a couple times, but I realized that, you know, I can just use the ender and fix my armor. So killed some of them, fixed my armor. It didn't go bad. We actually just came down here to get some arrows. This is the skeleton farm. It's pretty interesting. For the most part, I've been living almost in spawn. I don't know. I've been trying to help out as much as I can. I've donated wood. I give away free stuff as much as I can. I feel like I'm a nice person on here. I mean, that's the base. What's on there? Okay. They made this huge dragon statue before I got on here. There was a village over here as soon as I joined, but it's been removed. Skeleton horses because it rains like no other. What else? Yeah, I donated basically half a chest of oak leaves and oak wood they asked for. I have a shop. It's really slow and hardly works, but hey, it's a shop. We also have a sheep named Calvin. Now, Calvin will be with us most of the game. Unfortunately, I can't take him back to main base all the time, just due to the fact that he is an entity and they can only go through nether portals once every 5 minutes or so. I'm not 100% on that number, but I'm going with it for now. But for the most part, we will be taking Calvin along with us. We have an interesting feature on this shop, though, is we give away free food because there's no starving people on the server. It's my claims. But also we have a horse rental, and it costs 16 food of any type to get a horse for whenever you want. And it runs a hopper chain just back to the fucking one that beat everybody. And it's simple, but I mean, I don't know. I just try to help out in little places. We had a free giveaway of stuff over there. What else? I guess I'll run to my base right now, but I haven't set up anything major. I haven't done any crazy builds. I did one, you know, just a design type feature over here. It's a water feature, but it quickly became less of my project and someone else's because I did the tunnel mainly and it got fixed up with somebody else. It was mainly to just have a place to give away free stone. I'll have to restock that because as a new player, it's hard to find a place to mine. Is what I figured out when I first got on here because, you know, all these different claims and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm gonna have to I guess I'll just walk 100 blocks before I can even start. So it quickly became went from my water feature to Cliff's water feature he did, and eventually just kind of tidied it up. It's really crazy. You can get into the mind of a Minecrafter and see you can see how they play or what their personality is like. Like if someone wants the what is it? The gratification of building something, they'll put a sign on it like I did this. Especially if it's like a community build, they'll be like I did this. Also, another key feature is I have pumpkin pie, and I'm probably gonna eat pumpkin pie for most of this until I decide that it's really annoying to eat every 5 seconds because that's about how it feels. We live in the southeast quadrant, a decent bit out. You follow this tunnel for about 900 blocks. It's about 900. So I have it memorized because I first made a tunnel and had to refix it because the first tunnel has ice sitting on the floor, and I was like, oh, that's terrible. I'm just gonna have to move out further because it wasn't a really good spot to start building. So I passed it because I was stopping. Off the boat because we don't want entity lag started on the server. So we haven't really addressed this at all. We just put Omega's outpost because nothing fancy yet. We haven't really gotten to working anything. Most likely, or wow, I cannot speak. We mostly have been just getting quality of life items. Like I finished making tools. I mean, they're not the highest efficiency just because I'm not starting with. I don't have a beacon yet. You try you try harvesting wither skulls with just leather armor. That's actually probably one of my next tasks. I do need a beacon. I'm gathering gravel because gravel will be a hot commodity whenever the server updates to 1.12. We're currently in 1.11.2. You may realize a bunch of different textures right now that look weird but interesting, I guess, depending on how your eye perceives it. I'm currently using the B00 texture pack. Interesting enough, there's a skeleton on it. Yes. Oh my god, I'm horrible at this game. Just don't tell people. There was a decent bit of things set up before I got on here. I can't say I'm like amazing at anything, I guess. I'm just essentially taking my own chances to get better at everything so I can be similar to a jack of all trades because I feel I am decent with redstone, but not well enough to where I can design my own thing yet. Oh, that's not full. What's going on? OCD kicking in. So I haven't quite got to the part where I can just do things on my own. I do have to look things up every once in a while. I'm trying to get better at decorative designs just so I have that ability in my arsenal. We found this village, and that was the first thing I decided I was just going to claim this by throwing netherrack border around it because I think that's in the rules. Something weird about how well, it's not weird. I guess it's just a rule, so we're going to follow it. Of course, the nether, everyone has to have their end portal or nether portal on the y-axis of 115, which some people, it just makes sense because you can just ride your boat out to it. It's just easy access. I mean, I like it and I dislike it at the same time because it gives straight lines just make Minecraft look bleh in certain areas unless you have like a really clean design. Like say this desert village, I don't feel like straight lines in it look really good at all. Just because it makes it to where it's like, oh, we'll just go this way, and it doesn't give you like anything for your eye. There's nothing to catch your eye while you're doing it. It's just walking on a straight path. I don't know. I feel like my object in Minecraft is to make things, I guess, as hard as possible. Essentially, would be like the short-term version. Just straight lines in Minecraft are way too easy to do, I guess. And I don't know how to describe why I dislike straight lines. It just doesn't feel right for the eyes, I guess. But on certain things, like, you know, building a house, like, the straight line's fine for a little bit. I guess the straight lines just don't make it look natural, is I guess what I'm trying to get at. Which, in certain cases, it's like, oh, that's fine. But, like, say in the town, unless we're building, like, a strict castle, it's like, oh, well, these straight lines make no sense. It's just straight lines. So with a castle, or if it's like not like a full blown like fancy castle, I'd imagine like the pathways would be like curved around where the village people like us would be walking around, and you know the paths we take, and the path would slowly like you know etch its way in the ground from our footprints, you know, patting it down. I'm on a tangent. I'm gonna go down in this mine shaft that I built. Essentially, my main reason I actually decided to take this as my home, besides the village being here, was I needed a place to store all my items because I kept filling every chest in my store because I didn't have a place to store any items. And I slowly but surely just mined this place out, getting some resources, mainly diamonds. But unfortunately, I've been lazy with gathering books and enchants from villagers. I've been trying not to mess with villagers because I feel like that's the route everyone takes. So every bit of diamonds I've been getting, I've been using for buying mending books, which I guess just before yesterday, the price was like 10 diamonds per mending book, but I'm guessing the new number is coming down to be 9, which is a little change, you know. The worry that comes with that is that the deflation of it is if someone's like, oh, well, it goes down to 9, I'm going to change it to 8, so I'll be the cheapest price. And then if people aren't stubborn and like, well, we're going to keep it at 9, and this guy's like, haha, I'm selling it at 8, it's going to stay at 8. But like if they're like, oh, well, if he's selling it at 8, I'm going to sell it at 8, that guy's going to be like, hey, ha, they lowered it to 8, I'm going to lower mine to 7, and then it's just going to keep deflating the price, which you could argue is a good thing, but at the same time you could argue it's a bad thing because it just makes everything worth less. And the newcomers are going to be like, wow, I can get this diamond or mending book for like 1 diamond now, this is like amazing. But then it's like the old people here are going to be like, well, I'm making little to nothing off it, and essentially can't do anything with it. I guess the biggest thing holding a value right now is Lytras. I believe I spoke about going to the end and getting like 7 silver shells. A little after that, I actually got, well, the 7 I got were from a pre-rated structure. Most of these I had to buy because they're just quality of life items. I did go back with the Lytra I got from voting, which I don't know how much I agree with the voting system, but I mean, you have to have some kind of incentive to get a large majority of players, mostly the new ones, to vote because, you know, they don't understand how much it means. But if they get a reward from it, it's going to be like, hey, I got a reward, I'll vote, whatever. Free items, yeah. So I did use their ledger. I don't know how I feel about it, but I did get a decent bit of stuff. These are the things I decided to keep, you know, of course the shulker shells, the elytras. I don't know about the dragon heads, I'll just probably throw them somewhere. Some people love them, some people hate them. These boots, because I really wanted Frostwalker, because I might do something with magma blocks. I'm not quite entirely certain yet. But that was an interesting journey. I almost messed up horribly and lost a whole entire shulker box full of items. So I decided before leaving I was going to jump off the end because it's the fastest way back. So I put everything in an ender chest and had like 6 ender pearls in my hotbar. And what I didn't realize is I accidentally left this shulker box right here in my inventory, and when I threw an ender pearl down to the ground, and I left the ender chest originally up there on top of the fortress. So I was getting ready to jump off. I got to like the ledge, and I look at my inventory because I was about to be like, "Oh, I'm jumping off," and I see the shulker box sitting there in my inventory, and I'm like, "Oh Lord!" So I started freaking out because I had no food left. So I was like, "Oh man, what can I do?" And I started breaking the purper chorus fruit plants, so I could eat those to heal up. And I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna have to climb this thing. I haven't killed all the shulkers in here because I ran out of food." So I took a screenshot of there, but I was eating the purper, like trying to heal up, and I'm like, man, how am I gonna be able to trek this thing? Like, I have no items to defend myself, and all I had left on my body because I took off all my armor was a helmet with uh, curse of binding, and I was like, this is gonna be horrible. And then I opened my inventory again, and I saw the shulker box. And I'm like, huh. How am I gonna do this? And I was like, wait, there's another. So I went into that thing because I was like, there's tools in there. I'll open it up. And looked in there, and I was like, oh, I pull out all my tools, and I'm like, wait, there's an ender chest in here. I'll just throw it in this ender chest because that makes sense. So saved myself from being dumb. Probably would have had an excruciating head pain from that if it would have actually went through, but yeah. I don't know how I feel about this area of living. I just took it for now. I kind of want to build on a swamp because, gunpowder is a high commodity. But I also need the sand from here, which brings up some problems. Because I want to build a witch farm, but, everybody and their brother probably has a witch farm, so it's like, useless. Well, I believe I am rambling, so this will probably be the end of my episode. I hope you enjoy, and please come back. I'd appreciate it. Bye.